everybody. My name is Lisa Knox, owner of LM Knox Law and Mediation here in the great Tampa Bay, Florida, serving the state of Florida through family law. It is so good to see you all again. I still can't help but keep saying it. Happy New Year. It seems like, the time is going by so fast. I'm like, we just had Christmas, but here we are. So, I was sitting and I was thinking, like, what should I talk with my people about today? I get so excited about these opportunities to drop gems, and sometimes I'm dropping bombs, and just to speak openly and candidly with you all. And so I wanted to really, dig in and talk about something that has been coming up. And so I thought about it, and then you know what? I had someone give me a great idea. What we need to discuss, what very few people actually discuss. And that is, hey, Lisa, while I have a family law case, divorce, custody, paternity, any of those things, right? While I have this case going on, can I live my life? Or do I have to pretend to be like, this perfect person and all, who makes no mistakes and who doesn't do anything controversial and who does nothing that anyone would have any problems with? Essentially, do I have to be in an episode of Hannah Montana? Do I have to be Hannah or Miley? Can I be Miley? Which one? Really great question. And I'm really excited about diving into that with you all, because I think that it's going to be sort of surprising. Now, remember, before we get started, this is not legal advice. It's not legal advice. If you are facing a legal issue, right? I would encourage you to speak with an attorney about your legal issue. And if you don't know of an attorney to speak to, you can always feel free to contact us and we'll guide you into the right direction. But this is not legal advice that we're giving. There's no attorney-client privilege, right? I'm not automatically on your case. I think I had somebody try that. Like, hey, Lisa, I was listening to your videos, and so I just went ahead and let them know that you gave me the information. I'm like, no. So I'm not your attorney. This is not attorney-client privilege, right? There's no relationship between us and this is not an advertisement. I am just, once again, sharing what I've learned through the years with you all, with my community, okay? So with that being said, let's jump right into it, okay? Do you get to be you? Can you live while you're going through a divorce, custody, some kind of family law issue? And the short answer is yes. Yes, you can. The long answer is yes, you can, as long as you're aware of the possible consequences. And let me explain what I mean. If you, right now, let's say you're going through a custody battle, right? You're going through a custody battle, you're fighting for your children. If you normally drink 4, 5, 6 beers and then, go driving, that's not a good thing. Don't keep doing that, because that can come up. That can come up in your case. This would be the time where you try to clean yourself up. And not just clean yourself up for the case, but just clean yourself up overall, right? This would possibly be the time where you start getting, you start addressing some issues that could come up. If you are losing a battle with addiction, this is your time. Start making steps and fighting, to fight your battle differently so that you can win if possible, right? If you typically, like to pop off, pull up to the house and show out, this is not the time. It's not the time. Write it in a journal. I don't know. I mean, if you normally like to fight, I don't know what to tell you, write it in a journal, but don't fight. That is not the case. And that is not the key, But if you are just regularly living life, right? Regularly living life, I would tell you to continue to do so. Especially when you're dealing with custody issues, no one's ever going to be the perfect parent. And I say the perfect parent because There's never going to be a parent where, oh, the kids always love being with me and the kids are never mad with me and I'm always great and I always know what to do in every situation. Like, that is unrealistic. As a matter of fact, if I had somebody who came to me with that, I would know automatically that they're either one, the Lulu, seriously, the Lulu, or two, they're just a big old liar and I need to back up because their pants are about to explode in flames. One or the other, right? So that's the case, right? So there's no one who's a perfect parent, but this is the time to take more consideration. This is not the time for you to attempt to win the children over. This is not the time for you to cut off everybody. I see this happen a lot, where you cut off all your friends, you cut off all your family, you cut off all the children's friends so you can just spend so much time together because you want to show the court that you spend so much time with the children. That's not the case either. It's not the case. It's not the time for you to start making unreasonable demands. And when I say unreasonable, understand that what I say may be unreasonable, may not be unreasonable to the person making the demands because they think they may need to do it. But what I'm saying is, if the kids normally go with the other parent because they normally go for ice cream after school every Tuesday, even if you're in a custody battle, if that's what the kid and the parent normally does, why stop them from doing that? Unless the child is at risk, unless, the other parent is threatening the safety of the child, there's no reason to not let the baby get some ice cream with the other parent. The other parent is still a parent too, right? Lisa, I get this a lot. Can I have a significant other through the divorce process? Here in the state of Florida, yeah, you can. Florida's a no-fault state. I mean, technically, you can have a significant other during the marriage. That's unfortunate to say, right? But it's a no-fault state. The only time it really comes into play is when you're talking about like equitable distribution and you're spending a lot of money, a lot of resources on furthering this other relationship, and it's taken away from the resources of the marriage or of the soon-to-be ex or from the children, right? So let me explain. If you, let's say you are a strong, virile man who, is getting a divorce, but you've met someone and you have fallen in love with her, right? Great. You're going through a divorce, you've met someone else. I'm always a big fan of your heart healing, right? However, now is not the time to lavish this other person with jewels and expensive trips and whining and dining. That's not the time. That's not the time. Now is not the time to buy that person, to co-sign on a car for that person, or to put that person into an apartment or a house. Not the time. No, 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 no. And it's never going to be the time for you to do that and then, attempt to not pay child support or avoid child support or take care of your significant other in lieu of paying child support or alimony or anything like that, because those support matters can be ordered temporarily, right? But you don't want to let your furtherance of another relationship interfere with that, because that's going to be looked at badly, But can you move on with your life? You absolutely can. You absolutely can. And I tell people all the time, the heart and the brain, very rarely will the heart and the brain get together and have a conference call, right? And the heart wants what the heart wants, and everyone deserves to be happy. And sometimes, relationships are done well before someone pulls the plug. But with that being said, be wise about it. I will also tell you, do not use your new relationship to antagonize your old, I don't want to say old, but your former, significant other. Do not use that new relationship to antagonize your former significant other. And one, it's just bad business overall. It's just, why put that out there into the universe? If it's something beautiful, if it's something wonderful, if it's something that brings you joy, then why use it for ugly? Why? Right? And two, especially if you have children together, you're always going to have to deal with that ex. Why set up the standard to be nasty, mean, condescending, and have, hatred against each other. That's also foolishness too. So I would tell you to stay away from that. Use your common sense. This may not be the time. And I would tell people all the time, be careful with your new significant others, that you are not trying to ingratiate and put them into the family so much that now you're trying to force that person, that man, that woman, that person onto your children. Like, oh, your children have to accept that person. Understand that this is a process, right? If you're going through a divorce or a paternity action or whatever, this is a process for everyone, including the children. So don't expect, if you're getting a divorce and maybe it's not finalized, but you've met a new love of your life, mom, don't expect that the kids are going to be open arms and welcoming him. Dad, if you have a new girlfriend, don't expect that your children are going to call her stepmom already. It's just sometimes it's not going to happen, and it may never happen. And it's okay. Don't attempt to try and put your significant other into, the parenting actions. So for instance, don't try to put it to where, oh, I get my children, but I leave them with my girlfriend so they can spend time together. My girlfriend picks up the kids every day. If that's not, that might not work in the beginning. That might cause a lot of resentment. So can you move on? Yes, but you have to move on wisely, understanding the consequences and understanding how that goes. You may not be able to fully express your joy. Your family may not be ready to fully embrace your change across the board. And you have to be patient with that. You have to be understanding of that. You have to be accepting of that. Okay. So I hope that gives you some help. You don't have to be someone who you aren't truly in your core. Now, 30-second timeout. Once again, I'm reminding you, if you are truly in your core doing some stuff that needs to change, if you have addictions that you need to battle and win, this is your time. Fight them, right? Fight them. If you can. And I say that I'm being supportive in that, because that's not easy, right? If you can, fight them, right? It doesn't look bad to say, hey, I'm in Alcoholics Anonymous, or hey, I'm in Narcotics Anonymous. I don't want you to ever feel like that's the case. Like, oh, I have to hide the fact that I have an addiction because I don't want anyone to use it against me, because in situations like that, they probably already know. Okay. And you're taking care of it. It's like, having I don't want to make it sound small, but it's like having a disease that, you're managing it. So, okay, you can keep on moving with that. No one ever gets, blamed for managing their diabetes, With that being said, if you're doing shady stuff because you're just trying to be petty, stop that. Stop that. You need to stop that. If you are doing things to put on a show for other people, or to make other people believe in a different situation, stop that as well, because that's not going to serve you as well either. And it may end up causing you more harm than good. So this is not the time to live a lifestyle that you can't afford, or that you don't really actually live, but you're doing it now just because, you want other people to believe something different. This is not the time to do that. Okay. And if you're just overall typically a jerk, stop being a jerk. Be nice. Switch that up and be nice. But other than that, live your life. No one is expecting you to be perfect. No one is expecting you to turn into a saint overnight because there's a case. Everyone understands with family law. We always say with criminal law, it's bad people behaving on their best behavior. With family law, it's typically good people on their worst behavior. So we understand. But in the same instance, use some common sense, use a modicum of decorum, and think about things. All right. And when in doubt, talk with your attorney. Okay. All right, y'all. It's been great talking to y'all. I need you all to start talking to me. Put some comments in there. Let me know. Let me know if you've experienced that. Let me know if you've been one of those people to try and and pretend to be walking on water when really you doing something else. Or let me know if you've experienced that in the opposite way too. I love to hear stories from you all. I get a lot of DMs from people sharing their stories. And when I tell you, I read them. When I read the comments, I read the comments. When I'm saying, hey, how you doing? That's me saying, hey, how are you doing? So jump in there. Let me know. Let's chop it up, okay? Let me know if you're watching this on the live or if you're watching it on hashtag replay, okay? Either way, like, I really appreciate you all so much. As always, next week is a big week. It's the Super Bowl of love. It's Valentine's Day coming up. Let me tell you this, okay? Whether your love gives you a gift on February 13th, February 14th, or February 15th, only you know if you are truly in the relationship you should be in. Don't let a date make the decision for you, an arbitrary date make the decision for you. But in that same instance, now, if they come on the 25th talking about Happy Valentine's Day, you might want to talk to some people, all right? I'm just kidding with you all. Y'all have a great week. I'm going to see you all not next week, but the week after, and we can go ahead and dish and talk about things then. In the meantime, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and take care. Okay.